It's interesting. I'm seeing a lot more thyroid cancer in young people around 30, give or take. And you want to really try to preserve your thyroid, but obviously if you have thyroid cancer, they may remove the right side or both sides, depending on the imaging and if the thyroid cancer is in both lobes. So it sounds like she got one of her lobes removed. And so she actually has one lobe that's working. It sounds like she needed some kind of thyroid replacement, so they gave her a synthetic.
Weaning from breastfeeding, it's always a challenge, and it's very specific to each kid, I think. With my first, I was pregnant, and so I knew in my heart and in my head that I needed to wean before the baby came, because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna tandem nurse. Like, this is just not gonna happen. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pump and see if pumping will be enough for him. And I realized at that point that I wasn't even producing any milk, and it was just a comfort measure for him.
Progesterone is the most underutilized medicine in the world. You can use it for Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, PMS, cancer, all types of cancers.
Little blemishes,
veins that are weird. Migraines. It's like such a miracle, and no one really cares about it except for us. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Celluverse. My name is Alana Keneally, and I'm here with the one and only Dr. Keneally.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, we have Jess Donovan.
Hi.
And we're so excited to be with you today. We have some, we're both going on trips. So we're going to do a different episode today just of house calls and answering caller questions because we're busy. We're going on trips independent. I'm really sad. Not together. I wish it was all
We should do one together.
Jess is going to Bali.
I'm going to Bali
with her babies
and
her
husband. It's going to be so fun.
Wait, why'd you choose Bali?
Sean went to Bali before we got together, and he's always wanted to go back. And then there was like this special hotel that he went to where everything's made out of bamboo. Oh. And so he's always wanted to go back, and we were trying to figure out a vacation, and Bali just happened.
Yeah.
So we're going back to
the hotel. What are you guys going to do there?
The first week and a half will be by the beach, and then the rest, 2.5 weeks, will be in the jungle.
Wow.
So
who knows
what we're going to do, but
you're going to be immersed in nature.
Exactly. Lucky's homeschooling now, so we're going to, really experience our surroundings.
What's the time change? I'm nervous.
Like 14 hours ahead of time.
No.
So I'll live the day
call
before.
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tuck you into bed.
Yeah,
okay. With our phone calls.
That's going to, because what's our texting cadence going to be like?
It'll be the same.
Okay.
I'm a mom. I'm always around.
Mom and I are going to Saudi Arabia.
Casual.
We're doing it.
Casual? I don't know if it's casual.
She's kidding.
We have to get the right clothes to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
We're really figuring out
we're trying to figure this out, honestly.
I thought we were going to Dubai up until 3 days ago.
Right. And we were trying to explain her it is not it is not Saudi Arabia. It is a separate geographic location.
I guess they're different.
And so it's a little different. So anyway, we're going to figure it out. So we're learning all kinds of new things.
I'm so excited to see the looks that you guys pull out.
Yeah. So
we'll post them on Instagram.
Yeah, do a little get ready with me in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and daughter trip to Saudi Arabia.
Matching outfits. We're figuring out the outfits because everything has to be matching.
Yeah, except Mom's 4 sizes smaller than me. She's so cute.
Not exactly 4 sizes. Please, she exaggerates.
It's like twins, with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're going for a health event. So we're gonna schmooze with other wellness figures, I suppose.
Right.
So that could be some pod material. We'll explain who we meet.
Yeah, yes. I can't wait to have a behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Look at it all.
I never expected to go. I never had an interest in going to Saudi Arabia, really, but I'm not a big travel person, really. I used to do that kind of stuff when I was
You're so young.
Yeah, I used to go everywhere.
Yeah, I used to go everywhere, and then I got kind of over it.
Well, Maybe this will shake things up. You'll get the little
Yeah.
zest to travel again.
Yeah. I used to work for an airline, so I kind of just got a little burnt out from traveling.
Traveling so many places.
Yeah.
So
anyways.
what are we talking about today?
All right, so we're gonna take some caller questions. Let's jump in. I'm gonna skip this to the question if that's okay.
Sure.
Easier said than done.
Okay, wait. Maybe I'll just do the entire question.
Yeah, do the question.
Okay. You might have to cut words.
Hi, my question is about grief and identity. My husband was diagnosed with cancer last year. He's now in remission, but my best friend suggested Dr. Connolly's book during that time while he was going through treatment, and it really changed my life, like in so many ways. Like, I'm just such a different person. So thank you for that. But I almost lost my husband to cancer, and then once he got better, he decided that he didn't want to be married anymore. So I'm just in this massive stage of transition of being a caretaker, homemaker, lover, and partner to newly single. And in my 30s, I just entered my 30s, and I'm just curious what advice you guys have for transition periods in life and identity changes and taking on new things. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow, that's a great question. So they both have a time of awakening, actually. So I know that life has its curveballs and detours, and we don't like them, but it's also a time, and the word crises is danger and opportunity. And so if her husband doesn't want to be with her, like, that's not anything she can make him do. She can't make him love her and care for her. And I know it's so devastating and horrible because I've had that experience a long time ago when I was dating a guy, and he just decided to ghost me, and I panicked beyond. And of course, like anyone, they abandon you. And then I met with a life coach with this person, and we kind of okay, this is over. And our life coach said, you can't make someone love you. And so you just have to let it go. And now that I reflect back, it wasn't the right thing for me. It wasn't the right person. It wasn't that he was a bad person. It just wasn't the right person or the right situation. So you're not young enough. You're young to start a whole new lease on life and look at this husband and this relationship as a gift. Try to find the gift in the relationship and that you have new beginnings.
Yeah.
And bless him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a country song that's I thank God for unanswered prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes when you're in a situation like this where you think this is going to be my everything, I'm going to put everything into this one person, this is my life, and it turns out not to be your life and not to be your future, you have to just sit with that and realize that there's so much more for you, and it's going to even be better than you dreamt
Mm-hmm.
of. And
Yeah.
you were with someone that you loved so much and you thought, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. I'm going to be with them in sickness and in health. And he didn't show you the same thing. So when you do find the person that you're going to be with, you're going to feel that feeling back, and it's going to be so much better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yeah. How exciting. A new adventure awaits.
Right. And every setback is a comeback.
Yeah. It's
So,
you learned so much.
You learned so much that you've elevated yourself for this new opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what can you I feel like we're always talking about what can we take agency for? What can we take responsibility for? How did we cause these results?
Yeah.
What did we give that we shouldn't? What did we, where did the missteps happen that I can avoid in the future? What can I learn from this?
Well, you also maybe you were accepting less than you deserve
in the first place.
and,
Yeah.
and so you're with this person, and we're so thankful that they overcame cancer and they're in remission and they're doing so much better. But
Right.
that's such a blessing that he came out of it alive, and you're also going to come out of it so much more alive because you're going to have this new lease on life, like
Mhm.
and
Right,
live
and
your
she's
life
healthier
differently.
too.
Yeah, so much healthier for it.
Yeah, and the
So-
lessons you learn when taking care of someone too. It's all a mirror back of like,
Right.
oh my gosh, this is life. The messiness.
Mm-hmm.
The messiness of it all kind of adds texture to the soul.
Yeah.
So
So
every
beautiful.
challenge is so meant for you, you know?
It's so exciting because you're like, it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah. Totally. And you know, mom always says we all have our comeuppance. Because like right when you think life is like so good, it cuts you off its ankles
Mm-hmm.
and gives
Yeah.
you the twist and turn you didn't want or expect, you know. A reminder that it's you know, a wild, wild world out there, and you have to always just be at your, you know, on the pillars of life of being at peace and harmony.
No, your
and
word
what you
is
control.
unflappable. That's Alana's word, to be unflappable.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just life goes on, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, sending you love. Let's do another question. What about this one? If this is bad, we can cut it. Or no, sorry.
Hi. I was wondering what supplements or protocols you would suggest in order to support your body during a round of antibiotics, specifically before a surgery. And most importantly, do you agree with taking them at this time? I'll be having my breast implants removed finally in the next few months, and I would love your thoughts.
Great question. Because my next book, 2026, is How to Prepare for Surgery. So this is a great question, great entree to this book. So I have great experience because I have had surgery not prepared for and then prepared for. And so you really want to prepare for surgery because surgery is an invasive, it's immunosuppressive, it's injurious to the body. So you really want to prepare for this surgery. So not only physically do you want to prepare, but you want to prepare spiritually and emotionally for this procedure. And when I say that, it's like you want to imagine that this is going to be the best surgery that this surgeon's going to do. And you want to really tell him that. And you want to tell the nurses and all the other doctors taking care of you. And you want to meditate on it in advance, how great this surgery is going to be for you and how well it's going to do and how well you're going to heal. And so then I would do IV vitamin C and hyperbaric before and after your procedure, like 1 or 2 days before. You want to do IV vitamin C for the immune system and then IV glutathione to neutralize the toxicity of the anesthesia, and then hyperbaric. And then afterwards, probably the same thing, hyperbaric oxygen with IV vitamin C and IV glutathione to neutralize the anesthesia, because anesthesia is toxic and gets into your tissues. And then nutritionally, you just want to be eating a really good, well-rounded, natural foods, real food eating protocol. I don't really put a lot of vitamins on my patients before, other than maybe a vitamin C and maybe some systemic enzymes to reduce the inflammation. And then just really, really, try to be in your best, state possible. Don't drink alcohol before your surgery. Don't drink it afterwards, because while you're healing. And healing takes time. It's not something overnight. It takes time. And then after your surgery, you probably want to be taking care of your wounds well, maybe doing castor oil to the area, and put special things for the scar for it to heal properly.
No notes.
Love it.
Sending you well wishes on your surgery. Surgeries are always intense, you know, no matter what. Okay, what's next? Someone said some really nice stuff, so I was like, I wanted to answer hers. Dang it, where is it? Someone was like, "This podcasts are so good." I was like, "Okay, I love you."
I like putting you to the top.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Thank you so much for putting out this podcast. It has been, well, the 2 episodes I've listened to have been amazing so far, and I can't wait to continue to follow and learn from all 3 of you. I feel like it's a perfect combination. So thank you. My question is, last episode you were all talking about the benefits of progesterone, especially if you're pregnant. But what if you're not pregnant? You're just a woman, late 20s, maybe, also wanting to get the benefits of progesterone. Is that something you can do? Like, do you have to test beforehand? When in your cycle would it be, I don't know, adequate to take? And, like, how much? Not asking for medical advice by any means.
All right, thank you. That was such a good one. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Needing progesterone at that age is very dependent. You usually need it more when you're older, but in some cases, you might be low in progesterone because of a lot of nutrient deficiencies, medications, even like, there's some links to like family issues that could be messing with your hormones. So it depends.
Or environmental issues. And so the best thing to do is to get tested on. Yeah. So you typically have a cycle of about 28 days. And right before your period, all your hormones drop. Then you have your period for 3 to 5 days. Then you ovulate on days 12, 13, 14, 15, something like that, because it's different for everybody. And then you make progesterone, higher dosages of progesterone. So check your hormones on day 19, 20, 21 before your menstrual cycle to see if you're producing adequate levels of progesterone. And you may be producing adequate levels. So if you are, there's no sense adding it. So only take it if it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah. The good news is it's no toxic downsides, very safe to take. You can test it in the blood. It's just, you don't have to though if you have symptoms. Like if you have, being estrogen dominant like chronically is a recipe for, not for illness. So it's definitely the kind of thing you shouldn't be scared of using, but you want to make sure it's natural progesterone. Mm-hmm. Obviously Reina progesterone.
It's my favorite. I'd only ever use Reina.
But yeah, progesterone is the most underutilized medicine in the world. You can use it for Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, PMS, cancer, all types of cancers.
Little blemishes,
veins that are weird.
Migraines.
It's like such a miracle, and no one really cares about it except for us. Progesterone stands.
And the guy who wrote the books, he wrote so many.
Dr. Lee.
Yeah, Dr. Lee wrote so many
I'm
great
kidding.
books.
Obviously not just us. Repeat, like it's his entire work is progesterone, and same with Dr. John Lee.
Progesterone saved my life, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the kind of thing with all medication. I mean, you only use it if you need it.
Right.
You probably do. I'm just kidding.
Only if you need it. She's 20-something years old.
Young.
So hopefully your body has its own great endogenous production of progesterone.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're healthy, it should be good.
Yes.
But thank you for the kind words and keep sending in questions.
Yes.
We love you so much. Okay. Let's see.
I was calling to seek some guidance on what I can do to help my body after having one of my thyroid lobes removed. I had that done in April, and since then my thyroid levels have been slowly increasing, and I was started on levothyroxine and really struggled with the medication, and so I just kind of wanted to see what you thought about lifestyle interventions I can do, a more natural way to help heal my thyroid and to get it to a point where it could hopefully function well again. Also, when they biopsied the lobe, I had cancer, and I was also diagnosed with Hashimoto's. So
All right. Thanks for sending that in.
That's a great question. It's interesting. I'm seeing a lot more thyroid cancer in young people around 30, give or take. And you want to really try to preserve your thyroid, but obviously, if you have thyroid cancer, they may remove the right side or both sides, depending on the imaging and if the thyroid cancer is in both lobes. So it sounds like she got one of her lobes removed. And so she actually has one lobe that's working. Now, it sounds like she needed some kind of thyroid replacement, so they gave her a synthetic T4. So your thyroid makes T4, which is inactive, and it's converted in the body to T3, which is the active form of thyroid. And so you really want to make sure your T4 is being converted to T3. You might be able to take a glandular and see what happens and see if it might help your thyroid gland produce. If you have Hashimoto's, we talked about this earlier, but Hashimoto's, you want to get rid of the things that are contributing to that autoimmune where your thyroid's being attacked. So that's nutritional deficiencies, heavy metals, electromagnetic fields, avoiding gluten, maybe a little low dose naltrexone because that's anti-cancer and helpful for Hashimoto's. So you want to make sure your thyroid's working well because your thyroid is the battery to your body. It's the central, basically, conductor of the endocrine system. So you really want to make sure that you're in optimal thyroid. So make sure you work with a physician who really, really understands the necessity for the thyroid and optimization. And it's interesting. I know there's a doctor that I work with, and he, instead of removing the thyroid gland, now he's doing a very specialized form of ablation. And I've had a couple of patients do that, and he's an endocrinologist, very into the cancer aspect. And so he's very into natural things. So it's nice when doctors are doing both the natural form and conventional at the same time, so they know how to balance those. So she needs to just make sure all her thyroid levels are optimal.
Yeah. So a lot of times people go on Levoxyl and they can't lose weight. I think it's because
they're cold, their hair loss, skin's not good, all these things.
I think, thyroid medication is the kind of thing you really got to play with. I mean, all hormone therapy, I think you're really, truly like biohacking at its core is trying to figure out what dose works, what type of medication. So you could even add in like synthetic T3.
Right. Or get on
like
a natural thyroid that has T4 and T3.
Yeah, like NP thyroid.
NP thyroid, so.
A lot of times you don't do like over-the-counter glandulars if you like don't have a thyroid. Just because it's
may not be enough.
Yeah. And then you need it to be really precise. And so they measure the prescription thyroid in grains. And so you want to make sure you're getting exactly what you want
and what you need.
You really need it,
And when you have thyroid cancer, you're suppressing thyroid activity. And so you'll have to make sure you're on the right dose. And typically the synthetic versions of levothyroxine, which is T4, is just not enough.
Yeah, but a lot of thyroid cancers don't turn into something serious. Sometimes they do.
A lot of them don't, but at the same time,
Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
Like studies show, it's one of the most like over-diagnosed cancers because they don't progress oftentimes.
Yeah, especially if you change the terrain in the garden the cancer came in, they usually don't come back. So
yeah, and like lifestyle is all the things.
Lifestyle, eating,
sun, love life, live off love,
getting outside, nature.
Yeah, so I hope that helps. Let's see what else we got going here.
Hi, hope it's not too late. I have a question for the pod. What do you all know about weaning from breastfeeding at a year? Not sure if that matters. And the use of aspirin. I read a study that showed some hopeful results about the reduction of breast cancer, but there's not a lot of information out there. I'm wondering, do you think it's effective? Is it worth a try, assuming aspirin doesn't have any other contraindications? as a just preventative measure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Randy, for saying that.
So is she weaning from breastfeeding?
Yeah.
Because, like, at a year because she wants to.
She just wants to.
She just wants to. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
know that like there are benefits of doing it at least a year for like breast cancer.
Right.
So
She's probably just
okay.
doing it for
So
that. So it's awesome that she's breastfeeding. That's awesome.
yeah, we love breastfeeding here. Well, for me, weaning from breastfeeding, it's always a challenge and it's very specific to each kid, I think. With my first, I was pregnant. And so I knew in my heart and in my head that I needed to wean before the baby came because I was like, there's no way I'm going to tandem nurse. Like, this is just not going to happen. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pump and see if pumping will be enough for him. And I realized at that point that I wasn't even producing any milk. And it was just a, comfort measure for him. So once I realized that, I weaned pretty quickly afterwards. I just we were maybe nursing 3 times a day and I just cut out one feed, cut out the second, cut out the third. And each time it was 5 minutes to 4 minutes to 3 minutes. I just timed it out and it was really a mellow transition. And then with my second, he was a little bit different. I breastfed him until he was almost 2 years, but I was allergic to his saliva most of our breastfeeding experience. Yeah, it was a really special thing. So I was I just couldn't do it anymore. I loved him so much and I wanted to, but there was one night where I was putting him to bed and I had already started trying to slowly do the weaning thing, but I just couldn't do it anymore. And I said I was sorry and it was just our last night. and it worked. It was so seamless. And I think talking them through it, right. I had been preparing him for a while that we were going to soon end the journey, but just talking it through and saying I love you so much. This is such a special time, but it's ending. That worked for me. And it wasn't a surprise. I know a lot of people they would put Band-Aids on their nipples and be oh, mommy has an owie. That just never worked for me and didn't really resonate. But I know that is super effective for some. But I always just liked cutting out the feeds, shortening the time on each feed. And I just felt that was pretty simple. So that's my weaning tip.
Yeah. Well, I just bound my breasts with a really tight bra top.
Oh yeah.
And that's how, and then I just slowly stopped.
Yeah.
Feeding and it just naturally,
Can
stopped.
you take aspirin while breastfeeding? Do you know?
I don't really know. Not sure if you can take aspirin.
I think Hayden does.
But
I'm really getting comfy here.
I think breastfeeding is its natural state, so I kind of always let things just be in their natural state.
Yeah, you usually don't like people taking a lot of
I don't like
stuff.
anybody taking things.
Yeah.
Unless it's emergency. So I just no, just if she wants to take it afterwards, she could take a baby aspirin after she's breastfeeding.
Yeah, aspirin's so great for cancer, but you could wait until after.
After, right.
So,
and all you need is a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for doing this. You guys are really inspiring. I have a question about when you find a random lump. I found one on my lower back to the right of my spine, especially if I lean forward. When that would be something that's concerning. I asked my chiropractor and he just seemed to think it might be a hardened ligament or something, but I was wondering when you check for something. I do have an 18-month-old baby that I carried in a carrier for a year. I didn't know if that could have caused it, and I'm currently 11 weeks pregnant again. So if there's something I should do to check to make sure that it's not just something like a tumor. Thank you.
Got it.
Well, a lump on the lower right side of your back, it could be any number of things, but you should be examined by a medical doctor. There is such thing called a lipoma, which is a collection of fat that usually is a benign condition. And so I just would make sure that you ask your OBGYN if your OBGYN doesn't know, go and see your primary care doctor and just make sure that it isn't anything. And like you said, it might be ligamentous or not, but if you know the anatomy of the body, you should be able to understand like what is what. And if it is problematic, there is imaging. You can do ultrasound on these things also, which is a non-injurious way to look at lumps and bumps in the body. So I know you're 11 weeks pregnant, so you don't want to do anything, too drastic. Yeah. But, we never know what a lump or bump is until, like, you do imaging.
I'd be curious too, like if there's any other symptoms.
Right. So it's hard to say without seeing it and without examining you properly. So.
Like if there's exhaustion and weight loss, even if pregnant or something.
Well, and then also she said she was carrying a baby carrier. So did she develop like a callus like on her back? That thing goes.
Thing.
Yes, it sits around back there in the same area. So maybe she, developed a callus or some kind of thickening as a response to the baby carrier. So just always make sure.
Yes. Okay. A lot of questions on peptides and if they're useful and which ones could be useful. If some people are skeptical of them and I guess there's a lot of opinions out there on peptides. So
did you have a specific question?
No.
No.
Just that broad question. Like this question's like so long that it's just what about peptides,
Okay.
Any thoughts?
So people are asking about peptides. So peptides have been around for a very long time. And what they are sequence of amino acids that help repair an organ or gland. So kind of one of the most foundational peptides is something called BPC 157. And BPC 157 stands for Body Protection Compound. And I find that really helps people recover from surgery. They can recover from their workouts. It helps the body go in advanced repair. If you're young, you very likely might not need this peptide or any peptides because your body already has its innate ability to heal. And so there's peptides for memory. There's peptides for anxiety. There's peptides for surgeries. There's all kinds of different like to control the mast cell, to control like so many things. So you just really want to be with a physician who has broad spectrum use of these peptides and they really, really know. Like you can take peptides to increase growth hormone from your pituitary. So, and they can be very, very helpful. And there are some other things that I use is I do some specific organ peptides, and they're called mitoorganelles, and they're actually substances from the mitochondria that help repair a bad liver, a bad kidney, brain, all different parts of the body. So it's usually not injurious or harmful, these peptides. When I just had my hip surgery, I used 3 different peptides to enhance my recovery from the surgery. So it can be a very good thing and be very, very helpful, like especially patients with early dementia. There's great peptides to help the brain recover. So
I think the one thing is like if you're jumping to peptides without
doing the foundation. You got to do the foundation.
Yeah.
Well, is there like a sourcing issue too? Like I don't know much about peptides, but I feel like it's coming to the mainstream and it's almost like a multi-level marketing vibe. There's like so many people coming out here being like, oh, I'm selling peptides. If you want to know more about peptides, ask me. I know more. Like, and it's scary.
Well, you should really just be a physician.
Yeah, like you should kind of only work with doctors
because
if you're doing peptides.
Yeah, because what if there's something you're missing,
Yeah, or like is there any like contra?
Yeah,
like,
well, there is. Like you don't want to use BPC 157 if you have cancer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I bought BPC 157 like when everyone was talking about it a long time ago, and it smelled so bad that it was so expensive and it smelled so bad. I was like, no, I can't do this.
Right.
So
well, that doesn't sound good actually. so
but that's what I'm saying, like the quality.
Well, the quality, the source, and and really like experience.
Yeah.
There's so much to really studying everything. And then there's something called observational medicine where like you observe how it works in this patient, doesn't work in this one, works well. Like I would say when people use BPC 157, they reorder all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there's sleep peptides actually, DSIP. So there's all different things. But again, like Alana mentioned, it's always like, what is your foundation? Is your foundation good first and foremost? And hormones are part of your foundation. Eating, sunlight, water, nutrients, purification, all these things is like,
Nutrients, vitamins.
yeah, all
Yeah.
that.
My friend works in a salon and she was like, yeah, what are your thoughts on peptides? This woman came in and she was selling peptides. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this the next like Mary Kay? Like she's
Yeah.
like, she was really like hot. And I was like, okay, good for her. But like, I don't know if it's the peptides. Like, and don't listen to anyone that's walking into a salon trying to sell you peptides.
No,
Like,
that's like,
It's always also
that's like
the
a problem.
sketchiest people on Twitter that sell peptides.
Yes.
Like the weirdest look. Like you're just like, I don't trust you.
yeah.
I can tell. That
Yeah,
face.
well, you just
No.
like you
consider the source.
Yeah.
You just need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
you
Don't
know.
do it like willy-nilly.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I saw some tweet that was like peptides has become just another name for research chemicals. And so I think it's just like a broad word now we're using for like more experimental, less
And it sounds like so natural. Like, oh, it's
common.
just a peptide.
Yeah.
I want a peptide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good word. Words matter.
Peppy.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So
I
just
don't know.
it's worthwhile just doing it correctly and figuring what you really need.
Yeah,
So,
like if you're 45 and like not considering like figuring out your hormones, but you're looking at peptides, like what? It's putting the car before the horse.
Right.
You know,
mhm.
most people aren't eating right first and foremost, which is the foundation of life. Okay, we'll do one more maybe. Since it's kind of long.
Hi, Dr. Keneally. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm a functional medicine nurse practitioner in St. Louis. My questions are about bioidentical hormones and just hormone replacement therapy. It's something that I offer to a lot of patients, male and female, but I still always have questions. One is estrogen in women. I do think it can be really helpful, but I do think it should be respected. So how do I sometimes know when it can be beneficial and when it can cause harm? Obviously, I don't do it for contraindications for history of breast cancer, blood clots, things like that. But I always monitor blood levels, but that's also supposed to be not reliable. So how do I make sure that I'm doing it safely and still offering the benefits that estrogen can offer?
Okay. We'll answer that part.
Right. So it's great that you're taking care of patients' hormones, both male and female. And estrogen, both in males and females, is something to be watched and monitored. It's good you're not, if it's estrogen receptor positive breast cancer, you definitely want to be very, very cautious and not use it probably at all unless they're 5 to 10 years out of breast cancer. And then obviously with the proper monitoring. But estrogen can be beneficial, and you don't need large doses of estrogen. Do a serum level of estradiol E2, and you can do a 24-hour urine to see how patients are metabolizing their estrogen. But a little dab will do you, and usually I use transdermal through the skin as opposed to an oral preparation. But again, obviously, your estrogen isn't the only one. Obviously, you've got to look at progesterone, testosterone, DHEA sulfate, pregnenolone, and thyroid. And obviously, hemoglobin A1C, checking their blood sugar. I would also check people's parathyroid in this day and time to make sure their calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus are all being properly metabolized. But I think that a little bit of estrogen can be beneficial.
Well, usually it's older women.
Yes, it's older. It's women who
It's
are
not
going
young
through.
women.
Yeah, usually, and how you know that is if you check a young woman, let's say 45. Most of the time, a 45-year-old does not need estrogen. So if you check their levels properly, in
Well,
there.
but she's right in that even if you do a serum, you can't ever it's
You
hard.
don't know what the total load of estrogen is.
But then that's
So,
like, why would I do a serum then?
and
That's
then listen to the patient, because the patient will tell you symptoms. If they have like hot flashes and brain fog, and I always kind of like look at fixing estrogen last. If you do the foundational, which is the DHEA sulfate, testosterone, pregnenolone, and progesterone, a lot of times it can take care of itself because it can make estrogen. All right.
Yeah. At Reyna, we have something called the all method, which is you do everything but estrogen first.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then you add it in if you really need it at
right.
the end.
But there is some benefits to taking a little low dose topical estrogen. I mean, I know the cardiovascular benefits are found with an oral estradiol. I personally took that one time at one point in time, but now I just use a little bit of a topical estrogen.
Transdermal is better because it doesn't burden the liver.
Right, exactly. It bypasses the liver. So it's a great, keep up your good work because, so many people have hormonal imbalances and we need to get them all fixed.
And I really like how she's like living in reality. Some people don't believe there's any risks to estrogen. They're like so
and she's being careful.
She's being careful
and very cautionary. So it's great. So
yeah, I really like that attitude, honestly. Much love. But
keep asking more questions.
She asked more, but I think we'll get to them next time because we're short on time today. But any final thoughts, Miss Jessica?
Yeah, please give us your feedback, suggestions, critiquing.
Critiquing.
Yes, critiquing. That's how we grow.
If I have a disorder, I can't see the
more questions. Yes, let's make this an open, cooperative, collaborative relationship.
Let's get some men asking questions.
Yeah, let's get the men asking. I agree idea.
We love men in here. I love them.
Everyone's boyfriends and husbands and brothers.
Yes.
Call in.
And single
and eligible bachelors, actually. So maybe you don't have a problem. Maybe you just need a cure for loneliness.
Maybe you want to get married and have kids.
And boy, do we have a girl for you.
Oh gosh!
If you're a man and you listen to this, no, I mean maybe.
Yeah. Well, he'd learn a lot.
They would learn a lot. It could be cool.
Yeah, guys are interested in health. There's a lot of male.
Oh yeah, they're interested in health, but they like Andrew Huberman.
No, there's other ones.
There's other ones.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Look at Ben.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, leave your comments. Ask us more questions. Some people left such funny comments, and I like reading. Well, I like reading some of them.
You like reading all of them.
I do. I send every single one to you. Yeah. So it actually probably has crossed our path.
Yeah.
If you left a comment.
Yeah, and thank you all of you for supporting us and helping us and being part of our life journey.
Yeah, it's super fun. All right, this has been another episode of Celluverse. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Celluverse is the podcast where we get real about what's making us sick and what it actually takes to get better. Hosted by Alana Keneally, Jess Donovan, and Dr. Lee Aaron Keneally, this show pulls back the curtain on mitochondria, metabolism, hormones, toxins, cancer, and all the stuff your doctor shrugs off. We dig into the science, but also the lived experience of what it means to be healthy in today's world.
Just a reminder, anything discussed on this podcast is not medical advice.
And nothing can actually harm you if you're pure of heart.